So the second yama is Satya, or truthfulness. The root word, the SAT, actually translates as true essence or true nature. And so Satya is about telling the truth, right? I think we know that from a young age. It's probably one of the first things that parents teach us, right, is to not lie. But on a bigger sense, right, if we're thinking about from kind of our internal landscape, what does this mean? Well, Satya is asking us to live from, speak from our true nature. I always think of the word authentic. And we know what it's like to not be authentic. There's probably masks we all wear, or we have to be different when we're in certain people groups. And I don't know about you, but for me, it's very exhausting and draining. And it often leaves me feeling sad, resentful. And it's a really tough way to live. And so Satya is really the opposite of that. Satya is asking us to show up, to be who we are, to speak our truth, and to be consistent in that. And we know too what it's like to be around people like that. It's really contagious. And so being sincere, letting your word be your word. And when we think about Satya in relationships, this is where it gets a little tricky, right? Because we don't want to go around just spouting our truth all the time. That can be harmful. It could also be hurtful, because sometimes the truth does hurt. And so we can go back and we can look at the first yama, the first ahimsa, and this idea of non-harming. So truthfulness through a lens of kindness. And there's a really beautiful Sufi quote that asks us to kind of filter our words through 3 gates. And so at the first gate, we would ask ourselves, is it true? And at the second gate, we would ask ourselves, is it necessary? And at the third gate, ask ourselves, is it kind? And he goes on to say, if it doesn't pass through these 3 gates, that we probably don't need to say it. And so practicing Satya is a practice, right? It's something that we have to work at. But the freedom and the power that comes from being who we are is contagious, and others can feel that and start to live from their truth as well.